Hejsan allihopa, ni som har loggat in. Det trillar in lite folk på om pö här, men varmt välkomna till dagens webbinar. Jag heter Albin Hasselström, jobbar som produkt- och inköpsansvarig på Lightleap och med oss idag har vi Sunwoda. Sunwoda är en av världens största batteritillverkare och en ny samarbetspartner till oss på Lightleap. En väldigt spännande produkter i framförallt CNI-segmentet. Vi har 3 personer med oss från Sunwoda idag som ska få introducera sig själva också under den här timmens gång. Vi har ganska många anmälda. Det trillar in några pö om pö, men för att inte låta tiden gå för länge så tänker jag att vi kör igång. So a warm welcome to Sunwoda and the 3 guests that we have with us today. I just made a quick introduction in Swedish, but I'll let you take over, and during the meeting I will be with you, responsible just to raise some questions if we have any in the chat or if somebody is raising their hand. So thank you again for joining, and please you can start the presentation.
Thank you so much, and good morning, and thank you so much for joining the meeting. And my name is Olivia. I'm responsible for the Nordic market in Sunwoda Energy. And today we will have a brief introduction about our Sunwoda company and also our outdoor and cabinet and indoor rack products. And so first of all, let me introduce some more about our company, Sunwoda Group and the Sunwoda Energy Company. So I will first present our company. One second. So can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So first, I would like to introduce the Sunwoda company a little bit and leave the floor to Dr. Tian to talk about the product part. So first of all, we would like to say
I'm not sure if we see the screen. It might be on my side.
1 second.
I saw it briefly, and then it went back to all the faces.
Same here.
How about now?
Yeah, now it works. Good. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So
it disappeared again.
It disappeared again.
I think when you hit full screen, it disappeared.
Okay. Not a problem. Let me show the PowerPoint part and see if it works. Sorry for that, but 1 second. How about now?
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. So we would like to say Sunwoda Energy is quite a comprehensive energy solution provider. And first about the my introduction would be separated in 3 parts. First is about Sunwoda and Sunwoda company, and second is what kind of support and services that Sunwoda Energy can provide. The third part is that the strengths or the competitiveness of Sunwoda. And first part is about the Sunwoda Group. So first of all, Sunwoda was established in 1997, and we started the business of consumer batteries, which mainly supply the batteries for laptop, cell phones, and also other home appliances. And now we also have business in EV car batteries and the energy storage part. So for these 3 areas we're doing business of batteries, We have biggest customer as Apple. We take around 30% of the whole global market share now, so rank at #1 of the global consumer battery shipments. And we also have very good partnership with Volvo, Volkswagen, Nissan, and other car companies. We provide the solutions and supports for the EV car batteries. And regarding the energy storage part, we have accumulated 11 gigawatt hour installed capacity. We also have the business in smart hardware, intelligent manufacturing, and also the laboratory test services that can provide a very comprehensive support for our mainstream battery businesses. We started the business in 1997 as a small company, but with the development for over 27 years, we got listed in 2011, and till now we have overall 50,000 employees worldwide. And we have a very steady operation and continuously creating value for our customer. So in 2023, we see a revenue over 6,000 million US dollar, and the growth rate keeps on over 37% year by year. From 2011 to 2023, we have seen 46 times of the revenue growth.
Just a comment, Olivia. We see the screen with the PowerPoint window, but we don't see you switching the picture.
Now
So
is
we're,
that? Is
yeah.
that so? Okay, then we can only do this now.
That's okay.
Yeah. And also we have focused on the battery businesses, like I mentioned, for the major 6 business areas. So first of the consumer batteries, we have biggest customer as Apple, Xiaomi, Vivo, and other major customers. And EV car batteries, we have continuously working with Volkswagen, Nissan, and Volvo companies. And energy storage part is the main business we are doing right now. We do solutions from utility size to residential size. And we also have automation and intelligent manufacturing, smart hardware, and laboratory testing services that providing a very comprehensive support for our streaming business. And then comes to the global layout, we have very global layout for our own business. So we have 15 major industrial bases, 11 based in China, and 4 based in overseas. We have factories in Vietnam, India, Hungary, and Morocco that is also under construction. And then comes to the part of Sunwoda Energy Technology. We are a very comprehensive energy solution provider. We are a 4 subsidiary company of Sunwoda Group. We do the business from utility-sized storage, commercial and industrial, residential, and also network energy, as well as smart energy. We have accumulated installed 13 gigawatt hour for the ESS installed. And here is a brief footprint of us. We started as a storage division of Sunwoda Group in 2013. And at that time, we were the government reached to us and see if we can do some projects with them, like national demonstration projects. So in 2014, we start with the first national demonstration project, 863. And starting from that, we have undertaken quite a lot international and domestic projects with the local governments and also overseas companies. Till now, we have projects across 100 countries and regions. And then comes to our 5 major business areas. We do businesses from utility size to the residential size, also network energy and smart energy. So provide comprehensive energy storage solutions to all scenarios. And today we are mainly talk about the C&I storage and also the residential storage part. So first of all, about the residential storage solutions, we have very flexible and orange solutions. We have flexible expansion storage from 5 kilowatt hour to 120 kilowatt hour for low voltage solutions. And high voltage solution, we can start with 25 kilowatt hour to 180 kilowatt hour as a storage part. And we can provide the battery cells we use here are 1C battery cells, which is very sustainable and also have heating functions in most of our products that can support the can be placed in cold winter temperature. And here is an overview of our residential energy storage product. So we do have solutions from low voltage, that's 51.2 volt, to high voltage solutions. We have residential solutions also can be placed indoors and also outdoors. So this is quite comprehensive for different kind of usages. Oh, 1 second. And here are some overview of our residential storage cases. We have done quite a lot of installations in South Africa, Europe, and also Southeast Asia. And also here are some projects we have done with our outdoor solution cabinets. We are now compatible with Solis, Solentech, and also the inverters, and have been installed quite a lot across the Europe regions. And then comes to the utility energy storage solution, we are mainly focused on the grid side, user side, and also generation side. We have 1C solutions for liquid cooling, and here is an overview of our products. We have both battery packs for liquid cooling and air cooling, and the most common one we use are the 215 liquid cooling cabinets, and to the larger ones we have the new solutions that can make up the capacity of 5 megawatt hour in a 20-feet container. Use our 314 mil is the battery cells. And here are some installation cases we have done in China and also Switzerland. And we have done quite a lot also. Sorry about this. We have done quite a lot also in Sweden and Australia and other part of China. So Sweden one, we have a 46 megawatt and 46 megawatt hour, utilizing our 344 liquid cooling cabinets and making up a 1C solution for frequency regulation. And here are also some projects we have done in China. The Zhejiang project, we are utilizing our 5 megawatt hour liquid cooling cabinets, and in China, it's a very big project we have done with our newest solution. And then comes to the core competitiveness of Sunwoda. We are talking about the Sunwoda group for quite many times. So we have started the business of consumer batteries and EV batteries. And with this development and the demands in battery cells, so Sunwoda produce our Sunwoda own battery cells. As here you can see, we have a very integrated R&D and production capacity of the entire industry. So we provide the battery cells manufactured by Sunwoda, the assembled by Sunwoda, and also provide the finished product and all by Sunwoda. We have the nearly around the 30 years experience of the industry. And also we do the battery cells from 72 ampere hour that can support AC fast discharge, and also 100 ampere hour support 1C cells, and 280 and 344 ampere hour cells, which are very commonly used in the C&I solution. We are continuously invested the R&D part in our company, and now we rank top 3 in the R&D investment proportion in the whole industry. We have over 300 patents and intellectual property rights. We have also participated in over 80 national and industrial standards development. And we also have very top-level industrial manufacturing bases. So we have different manufacturing bases in China providing the battery cells and also the energy storage system. The battery cells we are producing can reach to 31 gigawatt-hour per year, and also the production capacity for the finished energy storage systems can reach to 24 gigawatt-hour. Sorry. And we are also recognized, have a very reliable delivery. So starting with the business with Apple and also the Huawei company, to be mentioned here, we are the OEM company for Huawei. We manufacture their Nuna series, starting with Nuna 200 residential to the Nuna utility container sized solution. So we have worked with Apple and Huawei for many years. So therefore, we have a very established practical quality control system. And we also work with different kind of laboratory testing agencies that can assure that we have passed all the main certification requirements. Also, our self-development battery cells have passed the 62 safety tests, and also our energy storage system are well recognized by the European markets and being certified. We also got customer recognition. We have won the Quality Delivery Assurance Award from Huawei for many years, and also we have consecutive 12 quarters of 4A grades and 0 complaints in the delivery and the quality assurance. And we also have very good global recognized brand value, widely acknowledged by the industry. So we are ranking at the 17th of the global New Energy Enterprise 500. And also we won the prize, the Shenzhen Mayor Quality Award Golden Prize from the Shenzhen government. And in 2021, with the competing of BYD, we are the year of the winner. And we also have done quite a lot projects with the different kind of companies. As you can see here, we have created the venues with our partners and build a win-win solutions with them. That's the main introduce of our Sunwoda and the Sunwoda Energy Company. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we are happy to answer.
Thank you, Olivia. No questions at the moment, but thank you for the overview of the Sunwoda company.
You are welcome. I'm glad to introduce this part. And since I have introduced the meaning of the company, I will leave the floor to Dr. Tian and let him to introduce some of our products details regarding technicals and installations.
Yes. Hello, everyone. The name is Liang Tian here. I'm based in Uppsala, and then I've been staying with Sunwoda for a little bit over 3 years, and then I'm a product manager. Quite a bit of experience working in this country, so rest assured when you have any question. I would start to share my screen, and I hope, it's pretty sluggish, but yeah, I hope that I can click the button and make sure that you see everything. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, now we can see it. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So that should work. So I'm mainly focused on some of our product for today. And then for now, then it is about this smaller CNI solutions. And then the content that I'm going to talk about will be this product, and then mainly focusing on the product itself and then the installation, some of the internet connection, web interface, and then operation and maintenance. The star for today is actually this Oasis 60. This is the all-in-one cabinet that we actually Olivia is proposing for the moment. And as you can see, I just briefly go through all those specifications and then also some of the highlight features is like everything in one package, plug and play. And then we have IP55. And then looking at the outside of this cabinet, there's even a HVAC unit. It's powered from additional auxiliary power. And then we also built in this automatic fire suppression system. It's almost like plug and play, but I will explain further what I mean by plug and play. And then on the right-hand side, it is a spec. We can have, this is the, I think most of you already read about this product specification already. And then we offer two options for the size of the hybrid inverter on the right-hand side of this cabinet. Either it's to be 30 kilowatt or 50 kilowatt. What's this inside? It's a series of battery connected. And then this is the spec over here. We provide with a 5-year warranty up to 10 upon negotiation for sure. And then all the specification it's listed over here. And then also for the Swedish one, the EIFS 2018, it is also included. And then the environmental temperature that this system can sustain will be minus 30 to 50. But for the sake of Sweden, I think it is pretty much for everywhere. And then if we take aside this, what sits inside of this cabinet, this is the bare bones system, what we call Oasis Flex, meaning that we have only the battery module connected in series, and here is the 3D rendering of what it looks like, and also the battery controller. The battery controller is the same, almost the same one sitting inside the cabinet. For this system, we have the same, almost the same feature, but a little bit more, even more. Sorry, I have some popping up messaging just on the other side, but yeah. So it is flexible to be able to configure like according your own need, and then it can be easily arranged. Say, for example, if you have a battery chamber for some of those apartment building even, then you probably will prefer to have this one because it's simply cheaper to put this one indoor rather than to use this outdoor cabinet. We do also have something interesting that I want to share with everyone. This is this pretty like a clever rack because we don't really need a rack for those each battery module. We have this clever rack system. We have a patenting pending for that. And then just to help us with maximize this utilization of your space. But otherwise, since it is pretty much like flexible, one of the key advantages is that we don't need any configuration. The controller module will be able to detect when you connect properly how many battery module has been connected. And then we're supplying as it is, and then it support actually up to 14 battery packs in one system. Speaking about this flexibility, then the Oasis as the outdoor cabinet system can be put side by side. This is 1, 2, 3 of those Oasis cabinet. Each comes with 12 battery modules inside, and then it can be combined on the DC side and then connect to one single hybrid inverter. So this is one way of this configuration. And then if we talk about like you need more power and then you want to combine only on the AC side, this is how it looks like when you connect 3 of those outdoor cabinets side by side. But of course, the AC side goes into one AC combiner. But for the DC side, if you do like this, then the leftmost battery cabinet, the plus minus, comes into the second, and then there will be a connection to the third one, and then everything combined on this side. I will show you in a bit what looks inside, and then it goes into the hybrid inverter. And then this is as what it is for now when we talk about everything in October, but we are planning another update for the firmware so that we can support up to 6 units to be exactly the same arrangement, but just more to be side by side. This is being done over the over-the-air update. And then when we talk about like from the hybrid inverter perspective, I know that you guys are working with Solis, and then this is what it looks like when we, look into the detail from the inverter side. So each of those battery cabinets, because this is what we supply, and then from the inverter side, it's this master-slave configuration. And then from both, actually, I showed over here Solis, but we also support Solintech and deras. And then when we connect multiple of the system, it's the same topology. And then for now, then most of the inverter companies said they support up to 10. We recommend that you use, say, up to 6. The reason for up to 10 will be that, then you will have to play around a pretty thick AC cable at the end of the day. But I hope you understand what it is for now. So a little bit into the detail of how do we manage about the installation. If I come back to what we have from the beginning, then this is the key product, the battery controller over here, and then the battery module, and then everything connected. So this is the key of today. And then I will look into the installation in a little bit like more detail. So the first component that I'm going to talk about is the battery module. It's just a standard like 19-inch sized battery pack. And then it's fairly simple. And then I put some number over here, and then you understand that we have a negative, minus over here, plus over here, just for the output. And then we have a link. This is needed for the communication. Link A and link B, and then we have a grounding port. And then that's it. So as a rule of the thumb from our configuration, then you try to connect battery minus plus, and then connect everything in series like the previous slide that I just showed. I will also show another one later on, as if you're playing around with this AA batteries. But what more will be that you want to link everything together. So the rule is that the first B comes to the next A. So it's connected in a what we call daisy chain, but you just try to connect one B from next A, and then that is the rule. The next most important component will be the battery controller. We do actually offer 2 versions, but the majority of those battery controller configuration are pretty much identical. By saying identical is that the highlighted one, also according to the label, are pretty much the same. Will be the battery. This is quite explaining by itself. The battery is connected to this side, and then there's another output that is another battery output that goes into the hybrid inverter. On the other hand, then we do have a main switch, a physical main switch built into the battery controller. It is the same for both the version that is what we call the flex version, or otherwise the Oasis 60. This is the cabinet version. So you see that the key difference from this two will be that the Oasis controller sit inside the cabinet does not have an antenna, but the one that what we call flex, where that you can build your battery system by yourself, does come with an antenna. Also, that means that this one has the Wi-Fi module built straight away inside the battery controller. On the other hand, then we do have I want to mention that yeah, there's a button, power button over here. That is for the Oasis Flex controller. And then here, then there does not have a button, but I will show you some video clip in a bit by explaining exactly how everything works. And then one other thing is this link communication, because this is a link A and link B. You find also over here, and then the same rule applies. The A port goes to the immediate next module B port, and then so on and so forth. So you connect everything into a circle. I will give in a bit for the detailed wiring, but don't worry if you don't get it right away, but then I will explain that in greater detail. So yes, speaking about the wiring, then as I said, the battery plus and minus just should be connected as if you're playing around with this AA battery. And then the controller will just try to collect or otherwise to hold up all those already connected battery modules. And then from the other side of this battery controller, those are the plus minus goes into the PCS. And then I already mentioned about the link A, link B configuration, because the rule of thumb is simply that one B goes to the next A. So by looking at this picture, then you understand immediately that it doesn't really matter at which specific location that this battery controller should be, situated. So this is another flexibility because the place or the position of this battery and controller is actually interchangeable. And then after you hook up everything, then the only next one will be the communication port that should goes into the hybrid inverter. In this picture, this is the internal look of this deras version controller, but for Solis, it is pretty much a similar diagram, but you will find that into this from this manufacturer's user manual. And then on the right-hand side, this is the DC cable connection schematic. And then once again, since we have the output from the plus minus, those things goes all the way into the input or otherwise the battery mark on this hybrid inverter, and then you hook it up, and then you hook it also the communication cable over here, and only 3 cables. Then you have everything connected. So for the Oasis Flex, this is pretty much the same story. What I put over here is that I try to show you step by step what it looks like when you try to put multiple clusters together. So this slide is for the power cable. The next one is for the communication cable. That is the most important thing. And then once again, the rule of thumb over here is the first B go to next A, and then B to A, so on and so forth. Even though this is a longer cable, but the rule is pretty much the same. So you see that we connect everything in this chained manner. So in the case any of those cable, somehow interrupted or maybe disconnected in the middle, we still would be able to make sure all those communications are still there. So this is kind of one of our product feature to be safe. And then when we try to connect 3 of those battery cluster into this parallel 3 by 60 kilowatt hour system, then this is the wiring. It's look a little bit, complicated, but at the end of the day, what really matters will be that we try to make sure the battery and battery controller are actually linked by using this link A, link B port. And then since we try to make sure all the controller also talk to one another side by side. So then we need another communication cable just to be able to connect the each of those controller. And then this is this refers to that connection. And then if we roll back a little bit, so that is the COM1, COM2 port. So this is a similar story over here for when we try to combine three of those, separate clusters of batteries, and then the communication works exactly the same way. And then for the power plus minus from this battery controller output, then we want first to combine that into a combiner, and then those combiner afterwards goes into the PCS. So this corresponds to the previous, several slides back, the picture that I showed. And then don't forget about the grounding cable, because we do need to ground all of those battery casing in this case, and then also the casing of the combiner box. And of course, the PCS also have another productive grounding port, and then that's it. One last thing in terms of the installation will be the terminal resistor. I think most of you guys might be familiar with this COM communication. And then this is, we need to terminate this COM communication. In the case that you only have one controller in your system, then the one, in this case, COM1 should come with a terminator. In the case that you have multiple controller system, since COM2 will go to the next COM1, and then the last one with an empty COM1 should have a terminal resistor. So that is the way it should work. And then that is also the rule of installation. Then you understand that the whole system, just following this simple logic, you try to hook up everything together. And then after you doing that, then yeah, it should be done. So this is how it looks like when you complete all your connections. And then, as I said, plug and play. And then when you hook up all the cable, the system is ready to launch. Speaking about this system launch, now the system is actually quite straightforward. So we have two steps. So first thing first, that we do have a physical switch, so that you should flip it up so that the controller, internally, the controller should be powered from the battery. And then the second step will be like a push button over here. And then this is what I showed over here is the flex version controller. And then when we have the Oasis, that an outdoor cabinet, the button is actually on the door. So you push the button and hold for like 3 seconds. Then we have a running LED indicating the system booting up. When everything becomes steady, then yeah, you have your system fully being powered. And then that's it. I do have a video clip over here, so I will quickly just show this video so that everyone has some idea for when it really looks like. I should maybe switch to my, yeah, I think this is the one. I hope you still can see my screen, right? Yes, I will just, it's only 4 minutes. I will quickly just go through everything and pause when it is needed. Yeah, some safety instruction. Yeah, by the way, this is the guy in this video. This is actually Nick. You will hear his name again later on when you need some support. This is our technical support. He actually visited Sweden, last year for some other project. So what he just showed is just an unboxing. And then here, then for the spacing requirement, this is what we recommend. But depending on what you really have on the spot, then you can adjust it a little bit. But yeah. Yeah, this is the wheel from the top and bottom. This is the frame for the inverter installation on the side of the cabinet.
Might be good to mention that the batteries come pre-installed in the cabinet.
Yes,
so everything is pre-installed, and the frame for mounting the inverter is also included in the battery cabinet.
Yes, yes. So you can see actually over here, then after you unbox everything, you see that every wire is pre-connected. So you don't need to do anything over here, but you only need to connect this inverter on the side. I don't know if I need to mention over here, but this is the grounding cable. And then we also recommend the siding of the grounding cable. Even for the grounding cable inside, it was connected. But then you need to find on the outside of this cabinet a grounding point. And then depending on what you have, then you should be able to have it. I need to scroll back a little bit. So over here, this is the touch protection according to the LVD, low voltage directive. This is low combining, compliances. So you remove the touch protection cover, and then this is the DC bus bar. So the battery, the inverter output is already pre-connected to the bus bar. So if you want to combine multiple cabinets, so the slave cabinet, the cable from there should be hooked up to over here if you have multiple cabinets, and then you want to combine that on the DC side. And then here, then it's another like a rail. This is for the auxiliary power. For this cabinet, actually, it is possible to for different configurations. But sorry, yeah, it's a little bit crazy. Yeah, but for here, then this is the auxiliary power connector. So this is needed because the HVAC, the air conditioning inside this cabinet, is being powered from external power source. The reason for this design was that we don't want the AC unit to drain the battery. So then just that's so that you have some idea that in extreme case, if you want to maybe do some modification, then you need to remember that the HVAC, the air conditioning, is actually powered by external power source. Yeah, it looks like this. And also for those connection port, some of those goes into the outside of the door. It's also pre-wired. Everything is wired over here. And then this is the conduit for the cable. And then this guy showing you how that you should just slide in the cable and fit in the rubber seal and then fasten that. So as I said, that one goes to COM2. Yeah, cable arrangement.
This is the cables from the battery plus minus to the inverter.
Inverter, exactly.
Battery input, yeah. Are they included in the cabinet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then probably you cannot really see that clearly, but there are 4 holes from this conduit. And then this is the rubber plug. He just tried to plug it back so that it is fully sealed. Yeah, the rubber plug. And then when you finish with everything, then you just screw back this touch protection. And then that's pretty much done. This is the inverter side, but this part of the configuration, the connection is quite straightforward. Flip up. Then you close the door. You push and hold. Start to blink, indicating booting up. And then when they lit up constantly, that is finished. Yeah, so this is pretty much how you play with this installation. As I said, this is, I will say plug and play. This is nothing really need to be done. And then there might be a little bit tricky in the terms of the internet connection. So you might realize already there's a what we call the gateway already inside this cabinet. And then what we need to do with that, this one, I will show in a bit over here also. It looks like this. It needs to be connected to your own router, local router. And then you probably, if you see clearly, then you see that this is also a 4G version, what I showed in this picture. In the case that you have a 4G version, then you need to connect this antenna and then put in your SIM card. But otherwise, I would suggest that you connect everything into your local router just for the sake of easier installation. And then this gateway or otherwise this wireless module that you do have an internal configuration. There's a web server built inside this unit. So when you hook up your cable by connecting this side to the guy over here, and then the other side to your laptop, then you just try to type in this IP address. Then you will see this landing page. By default, you will see immediately a master system is over there. This is the web page. And then you try to configure the system from there. The most challenging part with that, if you have a multiple controller, then you would like to configure that one by one. But otherwise, if you have one, then it's as simple as this one over here. So laptop to the PC, and then one LAN port to a router. And then we do have a standalone operation protocol, like a standard operation instruction over here. I wouldn't go into the detail, but at the end of the day, what it looks like is like this. So say when you have multiple controller, because we're talking mainly about the controller because that is what we built. So there's 2 ways of your configuration. So WLAN to the router, like wired connection. And then what we can do is that the master controller can talk to the slave controller over the Wi-Fi, which is a little bit interesting if you think about that. and then our own cloud-based interface will be able to see the battery from our own cloud service. And then there's another way to hook up everything. It is by using a cable. So it's quite similar to what we saw on the left-hand side, but only the difference is that one LAN goes to the LAN, and then the other one goes to the LAN. So we chain up also this different controller so that we can see everyone from the web interface. For now, I think the biggest system that we already have in installation is like 10 controller. But you will see that later in a bit. So as I said, the first landing page is where we try to do the configuration of those each of those controller. And then when you finish with that, then you can actually come to this web page and then try to see your system from the web. And of course, here is very quickly go through for what you do. Then you have to first thing first register a user account so that you can access this page. And then this is a step-by-step verifications way. And then the highlight here is that when you do have your user account registered, then you open up and then you try to add the power plant or otherwise the battery system that you just installed by clicking first and first over here, adding a plant. And then you try to name it, specify the type of the plant. In this case, in our case, what we're talking about is BCMU. You see some other thing, but we skip that for now. And then also you try to locate where your system is. It is possible to also put in this longitude and latitude, and then you click confirm. Remember that we have an internal page where that we should be able to configure your newly installed battery system using a laptop. What is needed over there is that you will have a serial number, but on the other hand, you can also find the sticker of the serial number from your controller box and then just put it manually over here. But here then, this slide by just showing you is that you can just copy paste that into the device serial number. And then the system will be linked to your account so that next time when you log into this system, you would be able to find this specific system, this serial number linked to whatever that you just created. And then you will have a list of system of your installation, and then you can actually control that over here. So say this is just an example from some existing installation. And then from this interface, you will be able to see that the SOC of your battery, the voltage, the current, and all kinds of information from this page. I think for this interface, what we needed is for the sake of servicing and support, so that we understand the way that you're actually using your system. And then in the case that you need any support, we can harvest those information straight away from here. And then another way will be that we can use this interface to actually to configure from remote what you have. Then here, then there's a list of the supported inverter. Then say, for example, when you finish with the battery installation, the customer doesn't have a inverter yet, and then they decide later on to change to another brand. You can actually do that from remote. You don't need to rewire everything, but you can do that even from remote. So that's pretty much what we needed for the installation. And then I will briefly talk about the maintenance over here. And then this is just give you some flavor for what we can manage. And then, yes, of course, we try to put in different category of this fault level. And then we have some pretty severe fault and normal and communication anomaly. There's all kind of problem that we would be able to anticipate just in case anything happened. And then there's a list of like malfunction. I wouldn't go into the detail, but then you understand we do have a list and then some production level. Yeah, this takes a little bit of time just to go into each of those specific items. And then there's something I want to mention about. It's just the storage. And the most important thing is actually over here then. So we recommend, of course, you try to store. Say, for example, you don't sell that, but you keep that in the warehouse, and we want the warehouse to be nicely taken care of. And then this is what we want. And then you try to avoid that from some corrosive and extreme temperature or freezing conditions, of course. And then we also give some ideas for what you should be taken care of, because we're still talking about lithium-ion batteries. So we don't want you to keep that thing in the shelf for extended period of time, because then we understand it will, will degrade by itself. The lithium-ion battery, in our case, LFP, doesn't really bother if you use that on daily basis, because you can use that for thousands or tens of thousands of cycles. But it just hate to be leave idling, because that will kill your battery. And then I think we're coming to the last one. So we do say in the case that you do need our support, then we try to collect some of the information that is needed. So we try to get back to you ASAP, but from you, either your end user or installer or responsible person, we want you to be able to collect some key information so that we can keep track of everything. And then that's it. So that's all from my side. And then I give it back to you or maybe Olivia. Yeah, thank you very much. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. And thank you for a good presentation about the installation and commissioning features. I would say that in essence, it's a very fast and easy installation. Firstly, because everything comes pre-mounted in the cabinet. All the cablings are also done. The configuration, local configuration, is also not extensive. And just to add that the web interface is a good way to monitor just the battery system itself. For sure, you will have a monitoring platform for the inverter and possibly the connected EMS service, but very nice to see that there is a web platform also for the battery, so you can remotely monitor and see more in-depth details about the battery system itself. We are quite excited about our new partnership. We have started with a bundle with the Oasis 60 outdoor cabinet together with the Solis 50 hybrid inverter. It's a very competitive product, both in terms of pricing and functionality. And as you may know, the Solis inverter is compatible with a number of different EMS and aggregator providers. So all of you who are listening, if you have detailed questions about, in what ways can you use this total system and what's the compatibility today, we can assist you with that. I saw that time flies. It's already 11 o'clock. I wanted to thank you again, Sunwoda, for attending. There's a lot of information available in manuals, and also we are prepared to answer any questions that you might have. And we have great support from Sunwoda also to provide good answers, and very nice that you are living and residing in Sweden, Dr. Tian.
Yeah.
So when it comes to on-site support, you are also available if that is necessary. So we did decrease our price in our website yesterday for the system. So please check it out if you haven't. And again, thank you for listening in today. And thank you, Sunwoda, for participating.
It's our pleasure.
Så om ni har några frågor, ni får gärna skriva dem till oss eller ringa oss, så kan vi svara nu efter webbinariet också. Så gör vi så att vi tackar för idag och hoppas vi hörs snart igen. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day and see you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.